Now we get to some hoops, talking basketball. Love it. We have an SEC Player of the Week as the Vols beat Wisconsin. And I noticed that Andy Katz, by the way, in his power rankings, had Tennessee number 1 in the nation. So we haven't had a chance to talk much basketball to this point, but what do you make of the Vols early on?
It's hard to tell because of how Wisconsin played Tennessee. Because on paper, we said Tennessee should go more offense. They scored 80 points, which is good. But they were 5 of 17 from 3 in that game, which is very, very not good. Now, I think Wisconsin was doing the same thing Duke did to Tennessee last year, which is they play kind of, I don't know if it was necessarily a zone, but it was like a perimeter zone. Because we all know that, you remember this, how little respect did teams have for Uros Plavcic as a threat down low under the basket last year. It was minimal, wasn't it?
None. He didn't have a back to the basket game to score, and he didn't have the ability. Well, Tennessee didn't have the ability to go with the inside outside game and burn people from the 3-point line. So you just had guys sagging back at the 3-point line, and so it made it difficult for him to find open players.
Exactly. So now this year, Jonas Adu is still, he doesn't have the finesse that you want him to have, but he's athletic, so he is a threat down low. He had 10 points in the game. He was 5 of 8. That's exactly what you want when somebody plays a perimeter zone, is you want somebody to neutralize that with that. The other player who broke it a lot was obviously Dalton Knecht, which is why he was SEC Basketball Player of the Week. He had 24 points, broke it a lot from the mid-range. I'm still not a believer in the mid-range, but if someone's going to play a perimeter zone, that is a pretty good way to break it. And so I don't blame Rick Barnes' strategy. When you have Dalton Knecht, just go with it. But I still need to see more from, before you fully believe in him, from people like Vescovi. He only took 1 3-pointer on Friday. Now he's still getting back from injury. Josiah-Jordan James only hit 1 3-pointer. Justin Gainey off the bench did go 3 of 8 from the field, but he went 2 of 4 from 3. But 5 of 17 from 3 isn't going to cut it. But that was, again, a reflection on how Wisconsin played defense. And also a big deal now, Tennessee, 19 of 23 from the free throw line. Wisconsin, 14 of 23. Where I do go old school, you hit your free throws, you have a huge advantage in March. And so,
Amen.
That is probably the biggest drop off from the NBA to college, where in college basketball, like 60% is acceptable from the free throw line. And if you're a guard in the NBA and you're not 75%, you're an embarrassment, honestly.
Okay, so we have Travis saying Knecht for Heisman. We have a new nickname, Creamsicle Mamba. And on the message board, Knecht playing like a pro. Vanilla Magic, Catch the Fever. I love that. So what are we going to call? Let's go ahead and determine this right now. And more comments from the message board. Euros was the basketball team's 2022 Kamal Hadden. I don't know what that means.
But he never got a 2023 like Kamal Hadden did to prove he was good.
Yeah, basketball team is deep and talented. I agree. So let's go ahead and make our predictions now as the season has begun. This Tennessee basketball team, I'm going to ask you 3 criteria on the message board and of Caleb Calhoun right now. They win the SEC regular season. I don't care about the conference tournament. They make the NCAA tournament. They make the Sweet 16. They make the Final Four. So give me, that was not 3. But do they win the regular season, and how deep do they go in the NCAA tournament is a much easier way to say it.
I still have them winning the regular season because I do think that Rick Barnes' style is conducive to being able to win the regular season. Make the NCAA tournament. That's like the most given thing you've ever.
Yeah, the escalation. Don't worry about that. How far do you think they go? These are our official predictions. I say they win the regular season, and I say that this Tennessee team makes the Final Four.
I say they win the regular season and get bounced out in the second round, because why would I ever believe in Rick Barnes? Like, the Sweet 16 is like a unicorn. It happens once every few years with him. And I still think he grinds his players. I have to be proven wrong. I'm giving him credit for his personnel change. But Dave, you said this last week, and I'm bringing up the Wisconsin game again, and Tennessee won. I don't think they won how you want them to win in March, though, in this game, which is crazy to say. Rick Barnes went back to the mid-range. You said he would do that in January when things were getting a little tight. He did that on Friday. I mean,
yeah, he did that on Friday.
That's why Dalton Knecht got 24 points. Guys, do you think Dalton Knecht is going to continue shooting that well on long twos the rest of the year? Like, again, only Michael Jordan was efficient on long twos, but that was, for some reason, that's the most unique part of Michael Jordan's game, was he was so great on those mid-range shots. But most players are not.
Yeah, and from the elbow, the turnaround jumper, I thought he created that because physically he declined just a little bit and he wanted a gimme shot. That was kind of like his skyhook. It was undefendable. And if he hits it, he hits it. And there you go.
And he would catch it in position like he was going to post you up. And then he would.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And he didn't even have it until like 10 years into his career. That was the crazy part. It's like, where in the H did that come from?
Buzz Peterson coached him how to do it.
It was Buzz. Buzz called and said, "Hey, I was just wondering there, buddy. Have you thought about a turnaround jumper from the elbow? I mean, just go ahead and give that a try. And thanks for being at my wedding and never showing up to Neyland Stadium, which would help. Never showing up to Thompson Bowling Arena, which would help me recruit. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I know you got money to make and stuff. All right. So Ron coming back on the show. Yes, we have confirmed Ron Slay will be back on the show this year, and we're super excited about that. So we'll call it the Slay Ride, but also Slay Says is going to be.
Yes. I got to push back. How's the blood flow cutting off my brain? You're telling me based on history, whose side is logic on based on history in terms of how far I have Tennessee going? Even Dave would agree that mine makes more sense logically, Final Four or second round of the tournament, right?
So Mead Drinker says if Barnes doesn't make a run with the roster, he may never. Well, he may never. And we had Final Four or bust. So, hey, this is Buzz. I was Jordan's roommate. Is this a disappointment if Tennessee just makes the Elite Eight? Okay, let me set this up. Tennessee wins the regular season in the SEC, which is probably the second best conference in the nation this year in basketball. Probably. We can debate that. But
the ACC is still right there.
Okay, well, they're top three, right?
I think the SEC is kind of down this year, actually, which is, I think, why Tennessee was so easily the favorite. But, I mean, and also you got to think Big 12, too. I can't go there this year, honestly.
Well, top three with Big 12 and ACC? You wouldn't go there? Okay, but
I mean,
anyway.
Big 10 is still good, too, but yeah.
Yeah, they are. All right, so they win the regular season. They make the Elite Eight. That's sure as heck not a disappointment, right?
No. Guys, Tennessee's made one Elite Eight in history.
Okay, what about win regular season Sweet 16?
I still think that's a great year. I thought, again, I don't really.
Yeah, but Caleb, I'm gonna go against you a little bit on this. At some point, man, you got to make a deeper run. But I mean,
there are accomplishments. There's levels of accomplishments, Dave. There is what you do in the regular season, which I don't dismiss. What you do, but then there's like first weekend, second weekend, third weekend, or national title in March. And the reason I say that is like, okay, the 2010 team went to the Elite Eight. I think the 2008 team with Chris Lofton holds a higher place in everybody's hearts, even though they only went to the Sweet 16 because they won 30 games. They were number one for a moment, and they won the SEC regular season title. So I mean, like, March is such a. I kind of judge the regular season more than I judge a deep run in March. A lot of times, the only reason we're doing this on Barnes is because Barnes never gets a deep run in March, like ever.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do: a little basketball trivia. If you can name who wrapped this, then I'm going to hook you up with a TriStar Hats shirt or a hooker shirt. You can pick, or maybe both, but I'll let you pick. It's basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king of the microphone, like Dr. J and Moses Malone. Tell me who spat that back in the day when it was just rap getting started. If you can tell me who spat that back in the day, do you know who it is, Caleb?
Yes, I know who it is. I was just hoping you weren't going to sit there and play the Ronaldo Woolridge, Eric Berry, Hurricane Chris Halle Berry remix.
No, so tell me on the message board who it is. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king of the microphone, like Dr. J and Moses Malone. Tell me who spat that, and you've got a TriStar Hats Co. T-shirt coming your way. So if this Tennessee team gets bounced, this is a postseason sport. If they get bounced in the first round, though, Caleb, is this season a disappointment?
Yeah, I would say it is. I think at this point, people don't even. I don't think people care about what Tennessee does in the regular season anymore. I think it is kind of just a March runner bus. Tennessee's at the point now where, remember when LeBron lost the finals to the Mavericks in the worst finals performance ever? And LeBron fans were like, I mean, NBA fans were like, we're not even going to pay attention to LeBron until June anymore. Like, they basically made that point. And like,
no.
so.
And the new nickname on this show is I've got a nickname. So, oh yes, Travis got it. This crowd doesn't know Curtis Blow. Here's my email. I will hook you up with the
We also know that Bow Wow had a remix to it also, because Bow Wow's a legend, guys.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, so by the way, I've got a new nickname for Knecht, and it's better than any that we've seen, and we have to refer to him from now on as this: Dalton, connect the dots.
Connect the dots to what?